Welcome to Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda. Back in July, Armagh won the All-Ireland Gaelic football final. For people who listen to these Take 5s or watch them on video from outside Ireland, you may not be familiar with Gaelic football, a particularly Irish sport. And each year, the 32 counties of Ireland all compete for the All-Ireland final, and it's a huge event. And I sat down to watch it this year, and I'll be honest with you, I fell asleep. I grew up not really understanding Gaelic football, growing up in a unionist area in Northern Ireland, and much as I've tried to watch the game, I really don't understand it very well. And so I sat down to watch it. It'd been a long week, it'd been a busy day, and I just dozed off. And I woke up at the end. I could tell that everyone in Orange was celebrating and giving speeches, so I figured out that Armagh had won. And, I was happy to watch the speeches and all, because, I didn't really care who won. Galway, Armagh, didn't make any difference to me. And I like seeing people happy, and lots of people seemed very happy in orange jerseys, so that was grand. Now, unfortunately, Northern Ireland being the way it is, with so much sectarian bitterness, things had to take a different kind of a turn. So the next week I saw a news report that 2 vehicles painted in the Armagh colours and parked up at the side of a road had been set on fire and destroyed, and that police were treating it as a hate crime. And my initial reaction was to say, well, you know what, a hate crime I can understand if somebody likes one sports team and hates another, but I don't think that's what a hate crime really means. If you had if I saw a car painted with a Manchester United badge, I might feel tempted. I wouldn't because I'm a Christian, but I might feel tempted to set fire to that. Doesn't mean it's a hate crime. But no, it turned out the police are fairly certain this was a hate crime, that it was anti-Catholic feeling, because GAA is predominantly played by Catholics in Northern Ireland. And then there was more controversy because police officers in County Armagh were celebrating with the fans about their team winning, and were waving an Armagh flag out of a police car. And Jim Allister, who's a member of Parliament for nowhere near Armagh, he said it was a disgraceful display and was demanding that the police officers concerned should be fired, which is a load of nonsense, to be honest. Look, it's a sports club, a local sports club has won, and the police hopefully are part of the community and can celebrate along, irrespective of whether people are Protestants or Catholics or whatever. That would be a given in any normal society. Unfortunately, and I say this as somebody who grew up in Northern Ireland and lived there for many years, for some people, thank God not everybody, but and a shrinking number of people, but for some people, sectarianism between Protestants and Catholics is still the lens through which all other things are viewed. And sometimes, having not lived in Northern Ireland for over 30 years, I forget that, and then suddenly reminded of it with events like this, that there are people where this just dominates their thinking above everything else. Well, when we come to Jesus, there needs to be a heart change. And one of the big heart changes that needs to take place with Jesus is Jesus becomes the lens that we view everything else through. Jesus is the one by which we look at all of our actions. Jesus is the one by whom we decide if we should engage in a particular activity or not. Jesus is the one who should cause us to guard our steps. Jesus is the one who should guard us to be careful the words we speak. Christ must be at the center of everything. Somebody once said, if Jesus is not the Lord of all, he is not Lord at all in our lives. And I do believe that for the Christian believer, all other lenses through which we view reality and get annoyed or get angry or whatever else, or celebrate with people or whatever it is, these other lenses have got to go. We've got to view it through the lens of Jesus Christ. One of the big problems is that there are people who still view things through a different lens. There are still people who look back and they call themselves a Christian, and yet they want some other lens to be that which controls their opinions and their viewpoints on different issues. But when we come to Jesus, doesn't matter what part of the country we come from or what country we come from, Jesus must become the lens through which we view everything else. May God help us to live like the new creations that we really are, in Jesus' name. God bless you today, and join us again tomorrow for another Take 5, your 5-minute inspirational message from Solid Rock Drogheda.